Hello friends, this is Ella, your friendly advisor in Ireland. Welcome back to my channel, all about Ireland. In the last video, I was talking about mortgage renewals, and some of my friends who watched the video, they actually had few queries around how do I pay mortgage faster, what kind of rates, offers, opportunities that does Irish banking industry provide to pay mortgage faster. In the last video, I did mention about I want to get the mortgage done faster so that I do not have the weight of mortgage on my financial budgeting and investments. And I follow a strategy to do that, which I did not clearly explain in the last video, which I want to do in this particular video. There are few ways to clear off mortgage, and all these ways target overpayment. Only when you overpay you can get your mortgage done faster than the usual. Usually in Irish banking industry, they if you are under you're around 35 or under 40, they give you a 35 years old long, not old, 35-year long mortgage for you to repay monthly. And the number of years you can fix your loan varies from 2 years to 10 years majorly. There seems to be a couple of players who are promising much longer, but that's I'm not sure how long, how far the Irish banking industry can take, given the rate changes that happen very frequently at ECB level, which pass on to Ireland's banking industry, either slowly or fast, but they do pass on. Now, coming back to how do I pay the interest, mortgage interest or mortgage EMI, or close off the mortgage faster, is first way is most of the guys who take their house for the first time, they go for fixed, so that to ensure stability as soon as you move into a new house. And they fix for either 2 years, 3 years, 5 years. I fixed for 2 years. I know friends who fixed for 5 years. Based on how long you fix, you get the renewal opportunity, like I explained in the previous video. The first thing you need to do is, if you are targeting repayment of mortgage as soon as possible, is pay 10% extra on the fixed. All the banks in Ireland allow you to pay 10% extra on the fixed rate EMI that you are paying without any penalty, right? And by doing so, I was paying 10% extra. I took a 35-year loan. When I was calculating how many years I would be saving, just paying 10% extra on the over the EMI is 6 years. So the 35 years was showing as 29 years when I started paying 10% extra. And the way I can calculate this is, there's a overpayment calculator on Bank of Ireland, and you can also find a lot of calculators on the internet that you can use. So it was saving me 6 years of time. It was also saving me around 70K on interest paid, which is huge. But again, it was over 35 years, saving me almost 200K, 2000, maybe, 2000, or 2000 is the right calculation, 2000 per year over long term. What happens when you pay 10% extra is that 10% extra pays off your principal rather than the interest. Okay. What happens in any mortgage or any loan is, at the start you'll be paying a lot of money towards interest, very little money towards your principal. And the interest rate which acts on the principal is on daily basis, right? And as the principal is not reducing, the interest won't reduce as much as it should be, and most of your money is going on to the interest. So 10% extra saves you 6 years and 70K in overall grand scheme of things. The second thing that you can do is, you can pay lump sum even on fixed. The fixed, generally all the banks say there's a penalty if you pay a lump sum on fixed interest rate package that you get. But the thing is, there are few days where there's no penalty. You can call up the bank and say, hey, I want to pay lump sum. Is there a penalty today? They say, no, there is a penalty of 1% or 0.5%. Then you can drop off and then call them on another day and ask them what's the penalty today. And if they say there's no penalty today, if you pay, you can actually transfer money to the bank. To be very quick on this, I would advise you to call your bank mortgage loan department, ask them on how to add the account on your net banking so that you can transfer the money as soon as possible. And it's also important to know that you add the account correctly, because it goes the reference details within the account addition matter a lot on which account gets hit when you pass on the information. So the first one is 10% overpay that you can do. The second thing is lump sum that you can pay. And the third thing is you can go for variable. The variable interest rates are higher than fixed currently. So if you want to do the way I did during my renewal is I went for 75%, almost 75% fixed on 3.5% for 5 years, and the rest 25% on variable at 4.2%. That's the current rate that I have on my variable, but it may go up to 4.55. I just read an article that ACB or even CBI, Central Bank of Ireland, they do not think the rates will fall till March next year. And I see another rise on cards, but again, maybe a rise so small or so big that it will have an impact on all the rates, mortgage rates, and inflation. But anyways, so what I'm doing currently is I'm still paying 10% extra on the 10% of the 75% fixed. I'm also paying 200 to 230 euros additionally on the variable. My idea is to close off the variable because I do not want to deposit lump sum, primarily because I better invest the money somewhere where I can get 7-8% return or more than 10% based on the asset class I'm investing in. But coming back to the variable, so what I'm doing is I'm paying additionally every month whenever I have some money left over into my variable account, thereby reducing the principal part of the variable and then that which significantly will reduce the interest part down 2 years or 3 years from now. So my target is next 5 years, get the 25% of the variable completely done, and by overpaying 10% extra on fixed for 5 years, I see a significant impact on the principal of the what you call the fixed part of it, and I see that it is going down from 270k to 218k. The way I'm telling these numbers is I'm looking at the overpayment calculators and EMI calculators that are on the website. I'm not doing a screen share now. Probably I'll do it later in a bigger video around how mortgages impact our daily lives and how we can reduce that by making the calculated risks taking or calculated deposit making. Now, the fourth point is, this is talked about widely in financial circles and, among people who actually concerned about mortgage, right? They say instead of paying monthly mortgage, you can pay fortnightly or weekly. But again, the way banks calculate mortgage interest is by on daily use. So if you're paying weekly or bi-weekly, your mortgage interest might reduce. But the difference I see between these three modes of payment is very little to take up the weekly payment. But again, it depends upon how much you want to pay. For example, if your annual EMI amount like that you're paying towards mortgage is coming to 12,000, let's just say 12,000 for simple calculations, and if you're paying 1,000 each month, if you divide 12,000 by 26 weeks or 52 weeks for bi-weekly and weekly, the difference is little to none. You are saving 10 euros on the interest annually. Over the course of time, you probably save 1,200, 1,300. not much of a difference. But let's say you want to overpay on weekly and bi-weekly basis. For example, if you go fortnightly, bi-weekly, right, there are 26 fortnightly weeks, whereas there are 52 normal weeks. Now, if you want to divide the 1,000 euros that you're paying monthly into two parts of four parts bi-weekly or two parts bi-weekly, you will be essentially paying 13,000 euros, like 26 into 500 is 13,000, 52 into 250 is 13,000. You will be overpaying by 1,000 euros each year. On a 35-year long mortgage, you will be saving 3 years by paying fortnightly and weekly. But again, if you see here, you are actually overpaying. You are not paying the same amount as you are doing monthly. But again, if you want to do monthly same amount divided into weeks and fortnight weeks, you're not saving much. Only and unless you overpay on weekly and fortnightly basis, you are. But do check with the bank. I called Bank of Ireland. They were okay to divide the my monthly payments into fortnightly and weekly. But when I divide and I see, it's crossing my budget, and I'm like, okay, let me follow what I'm following now, because it's for me it's easier to plan monthly, budget monthly, invest monthly, rather than doing it on daily basis, right? It's if you go by daily basis, it's gonna be more stressful. So see what fits you, do that so that it will help you. So the four methods that we spoke of till now is 10% overpayment on fixed, which is common across Ireland. Two, paying lump sum on fixed, which is good. Three, divide your mortgage into fixed and variable, overpay variable. There's no penalty on variable. Sorry, I forgot to mention that point. There's no penalty on variable. So you can overpay how much ever you want. It can be lump sum, it may not be lump sum. It can be 50 euros that is laying in your account that you can pay. Fourth is dividing your paying fortnightly and weekly, but little overpayment based on the number of parts that you want to pay. If you are dividing whatever monthly EMI you're paying through twice a month or four times a month, it doesn't make any difference. But if you are going for fortnightly and weekly where you overpay, then that makes a difference. Hope this video helped you with respect to your questions around mortgage and overpaying mortgage. If you have any questions, do comment below. Subscribe to my channel. Do like it. Share with your friends. And yeah, lead a better financial life. Thank you.